We will begin the health video.
The Kesh Foundation is extending an invitation to medical doctors of any practice and specialty to apply to the Foundation's private weekly medical teaching workshop. This includes medical doctors, dentists, and veterinarians. Scientists of the Kesh Foundation developed different types of plasma therapies and cures that utilize advanced, non-invasive plasma technology. The weekly private medical teaching workshop educates doctors to the plasma science behind the therapies, along with the functionality and operation of revolutionary plasma medical devices. The goal of the private teachings is to add plasma health knowledge to the profound knowledge of medical doctors. The weekly class is broadcast live over the internet through a secure private channel every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central European Time. Presently, the class is only offered in English. However, you are free to bring a translator to the class. If you can't participate in the live broadcast, you can watch them later at your convenience through a private internet portal. Every patient's case that is discussed in the workshop will be kept anonymous and private. This includes cataloged findings and data gained from the analysis of the patient's health issues. Any medical doctor in the world who wants to participate can do so by sending an email to doctors@spaceshipinstitute.org. In your email, please state your willingness to participate in the medical teaching workshop. If you're planning on bringing a translator to the workshop, please state this in your email as well. After we receive your email, we will contact you with the instructions on how to apply to the workshop. As a part of the application process, applicants who apply, including any translators brought into the workshop, will be required to sign the Kesh Foundation's World Peace Treaty, which can be found at the following web address. All applicants will be required to provide proof of their education and ability to practice medicine, and will also be required to pass an extensive security background check before they are granted access to the teaching workshop. Healthful plasma technology is here, now, the use of which is increasing exponentially on a day-to-day basis on every continent. We encourage you to come and learn about this revolutionary technology. Apply today. Kesh Foundation Ghana, in association with Ghana Atomic Commission and Ghana Spaceship Institute, would like to invite you to attend the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference, October 17th through 19th, 2016, in Ghana. Kesh Foundation Ghana's mandate is to build awareness and promote research into plasma technology. The Foundation is presently working with governmental institutions and other interest groups in Ghana to fulfill this goal. At the conference, you will be afforded the opportunity to learn about and experience plasma technology firsthand. The cost of admission to the conference includes 3-night stay in one of Ghana's prestigious hotels. Hotel packages include a single, double, or twin room option, and an option for an apartment or suite. Breakfast, tea, and coffee breaks and a buffet lunch on the days of the conference are also included. Kesh Foundation Ghana is focused on utilizing plasma technology to solve numerous problems facing the African nation. Come to the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference in Ghana. Learn about plasma technology and learn how you can participate in spreading the word about it. Together, we can bring freedom to Africa and humanity. And we hope to see you there.
Welcome everyone to the 137th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. It is Thursday, September 15th, 2016, and we are pleased to have Sandy present a presentation on the Universal Council Conference in Rome that was held on September 9th and 10th of 2016. And I think she's ready to present that now. Or are you there, Sandy? Let's see.
Hi, Rick. Is my screen sharing?
Yes, we can see it there.
That look.
That looks really good. Thank you.
Is that working out for you? Okay, great. Audio coming through okay?
Yes, very good. Oh,
okay. Well, then I'll just go ahead and get started and say hello, everyone. When I was looking through the who's on this, watching this live session this morning, I seen a lot of the people that were out the council conference this past week, and like to say hello to you. It was great being with you all. I'm going to start by giving just a little brief overview of the council itself, since some of you watching this might not know of the council. Let me see here. Okay, the council's purpose is to bring about peace for all souls, and this means all humanity, plants, animals, all those souls within our atmosphere, outside our atmosphere, our galaxy, and beyond, is to bring everything of the soul of the Creator to peace. And it's all, the council basically started in Dubai earlier this year in April, when the One Planet, One Nation, One Race conference took place. 140 some people went, and out of that conference, 76 people stepped up to say that they wanted to be members of the council. All people that attend these conferences have to sign the World Peace Treaty. The Peace Treaty says, I, as citizens of Earth, from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression, and I shall never think again about getting involved or incite war or development or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this I agree and swear with my body and soul, and was signed and witnessed. Knowing that everyone has signed this, we come to understand that we are joined. And so from the first council that happened in Dubai, there were 73 people that stood up and 25 languages were represented. The process then went to pick one representative for each language. As you can see, some languages had more than one representative: English, Farsi, France, German. So there had to be a process in which one representative was chosen to be the language representative. And this did occur in the months prior, after, I should say, April, until the September conference that just happened. So now we're in Rome. We have our 25 language representatives chosen, and this is their time to speak up and let the world know about their vision. So myself, as the Secretary General of the Universal Council, was basically the MC of the event. It took place at the Crown Plaza Hotel, the St. Peter's location in Rome, Italy. The facilities were wonderful. The staff was it couldn't have been a nicer area, and everyone was very helpful. And so the attendees included 20 language representatives that came in person, 3 that were watching online through Zoom. There were 22 support council members, 69 public, 4 children between the ages of 8 and 14, 4 Keshe Foundation support staff, Ella, Stanley, Sandor, and Giuseppe. And I also could put Bill Esch in there. And 2 others, which was Mr. Keshe and myself. I just really didn't know where to put us, so I just put us under other. The conference schedule was for 2 days, for each language represented to be given 15 minutes to share their vision. And 2 representatives spoke online. They came on Zoom and presented their speech. And 1 representative's vision was read to the council. All of this was done in the first day. And so the second day, the format was changed to for a different purpose. But you can see how the conference schedule, we would meet around 10 o'clock, have a break around 11:30, and then lunch at 1, another break in the afternoon, and closed up the session at 6 in the evening. It actually started on Thursday, though, when people started to arrive, and we've had to get going with the Knowledge Seekers workshop that morning. Giuseppe came in and gave his talk for the Knowledge Seekers workshop that day, and the rest of us were also planning how to get things going. After the workshop, there was a beautiful lunch in which people started to be able to get together and discuss things. I think there was about 25 of us during this point or so. And in the evenings, we got together again. Some stayed around the hotel to chat, and some went out and seen some of the sights. But it was a night for everyone to get out and relax, because on Friday, everything was set to get going, to get the work started. I presented to the council and the members and public our statement of intention to join all souls together, and spoke of the schedule and so forth, and everyone was very attentive. I don't have pictures of each individual speakers because we were not allowing recordings during and picture taking during the actual conference. So I do not have those pictures. The pictures you will be seeing are during the breaks. It was a wonderful crowd, and like I said, the facilities were beautiful. Just so you can see some of the people there. We had a full room. I think there was 18 to 20 tables. Some of the visions that were shared that morning by the council members were the vision to have equal respect for all genders, to allow more feminine energy to be expressed. Another one was equal respect for cultures, where a tribe is not regarded as less worthy than a nation. Clean water for all by teaching plasma technology, especially with the disasters and earth changes that we are going through. And one mentioned people doing work they enjoy and feel satisfied with, when doing work is seen as an honor. All these visions were expressed and more by different council members as what they wanted to see to come forth in the days ahead. It was a wonderful experience. Everyone, a lot of people knew each other because they came from Dubai, and so there was a lot of camaraderie and friendship. One thing that was spoken on that day is man's path to peace. Man does not have to go the path Mr. Kesh describes in this picture, which is the man will come to accept this new technology not out of love, but out of fear of his own existence. Man can know peace by extending respect and love. And it was suggested that each time we see positive change for peace, we should take a letter away, so that to promote peace and love to peace instead of fear to peace. That evening after the conference, we had a beautiful dinner at a restaurant that was right around the bend, that was very accommodating. And after that, there was also a meeting back at the hotel for those who wanted to discuss things further. The next day, September 10th, it was a beautiful day and everything was so exciting. And I put this little picture up here because little Topali's just so cute and was so excited this day. And I thought it was a great picture to start the day off with. And I felt we were able to remove our first letter, and I took off the E in existence. So to me, it was showing that we can step out of this fear, because our first wish of the council, on the 9th of September, the council wished for world peace, and on the 10th, US and Russia agreed on peace moves in Syria. I saw this on the news before coming down to breakfast in the morning, and I was just so excited. It's like it happened so quickly. And after breakfast, and we were talking about it and all, we were saying how it would be wonderful to know for sure that these men came to this agreement out of love for and respect for each other. But it was sort of thought, with the looks on their face, they probably came to it out of fear. Because on September 1st, 2016, at Cape Canaveral Air Force Space Station, the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket exploded. MT Kesh of Kesh Foundation explained the reason for the destruction of the system, as it was to carry systems capable of endangering other nations' nuclear capability. So it had to be stopped, and it was stopped using the new space plasma technology for the implication of peace. No one was hurt, no lives were lost. And it was shown the video that shows the orb coming in and the explosion of the rocket and the orb going out. This was on the news. All of you can go and look it up for yourselves to see it again. So, but the path the Universal Council members walk is to peace and the acknowledgement of respect for all in oneness with Source. This is the ethos the Universal Council works through. Other wishes spoken that day, because Saturday was the day for us to speak how we could see action being taken to bring about peace. Some talked about bringing children into the talks and conferences, about how important it is for them to experience adults handling things in a compromising, collaborative fashion. Others talk about how our educational system needs to be teaching compassion and love, to have it actually in the teaching in the syllabus of our courses, even at very young ages. Another talked about making social media apps to help teach about the plasma, and also to give helpful suggestions about how to handle situations, how to be respectful in a situation, and so forth. And others suggested newsletters where internet and such are not available, feeling that these people shouldn't be left out, that they need to also learn about peace and plasma technology. Of course, to have trust so that you can truly love others. And was talked about the pay forward movement that's coming through, where you give ahead knowing that you will receive when your turn comes, when it is necessary. And to be also willing to teach self-honor to those whose culture demands submission from certain classes of people. There were many other wishes spoken, and people were trying to give of their souls and speak from how they felt that they could contribute to this effort. And part of that was just to collaborate with each other and talk with each other, see where everyone's coming, see what's happening with each other's countries, because it is through our language that we have our connection to our nation. And people will be coming to share their visions and their request of the council, and we'll be going to these language representatives who will listen and understand because they are from that culture. And then they'll bring their requests and suggestions to the council for the council to help with and to strengthen and share. So it was a wonderful experience. A lot of learning and growing happened. And then it came, what did we accomplish? It was shown how much we have yet to understand as far as having respect for others and detachment from possession, titles, and seeing how much we can get. Mr. Kesh gave a lesson on this after dinner on Saturday night. And we have seen how embedded our desires to teach outweigh our desires to learn. And we really need to have a balance, because if we only teach, we can't learn what is being presented to us right now. We learn how we have to work at broadening our tolerances and accepting the wisdom of peace. Often, wisdom of peace and tolerance don't go hand in hand. And so this is one of the things we also talked about, that in order to have peace for all, people are going to have to be willing to broaden their ability to accept. And where do we go from here? Acknowledging the intelligence of the Creator within us and learning more about how we are being guided, and opening up to others in the name of the Universal Council, and our willingness to expand our trust in the power of trust. We have to come to know how we are connected, how the universal communication is going on between us. As members of the Universal Council, this is what we're working on. So myself, my vision for the work of the Universal Council between now and the next conference is I would like to see language representatives starting to have regular public Zoom meetings for being available to those looking for information and aid. And I would like to see support members starting groups such as health aid disbursements, agricultural support, and organize an aid network around the globe with the manufacturing and distributing sections of the Kesh Foundation. I think this is something we can definitely get going and started between now and our next Universal Council meeting, which is now scheduled for the April 7th and 8th of 2017 in Rome. We had talked once about having the conference somewhere else, but currently, with the current situation with visas and so forth, we've decided that it is necessary to stay in Rome for the upcoming council, since it's only 6 months away. A little over 6 months, actually. So we do have work to do, but I think everyone saw the power of the joining, the power of the collaboration, and is looking forward to bringing this energy forward. So that is my report on the Universal Council's One Planet, One Nation, One Race Conference in Rome, Italy, this past September 8th and 9th. And I thank you, and I'm Sandy Esch. I'm Secretary General of the Universal Council. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm the woman standing on the extreme right-hand side of the picture with the black tank top and gray slacks. So everyone, thank you very much. And if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to let me know. And I will stop sharing. Okay, so did anyone hear me on that?
Oh yeah, you came through loud and clear. Thank you very much, Sandy. I'm wondering if Mr. Kesh is in the background there, ready to begin. And do we have a video that we're going to be showing? I mean, a live video from Mr. Kesh, or do we have something to share?
No, we're still on the board. We're still on the board. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Kesh.
Yes.
Hi.
Good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and whenever you listen to us. We have come to a full circle, in a way, trying to understand the work of the Council and exactly where we stand and how we stand with this process. There is a very clear indication for those of you who've been involved and around the foundation or listen to the foundation's work. We established the United Nations after the Second World War to stop the abuses of the power, that we could come to an agreement before the abuse starts. But over time, in past lifetime of what we call United Nations, the United Nations itself became more abuser than it was set to abuse, stop the abuse. We've seen wars which is sanctioned on the favor of one nation to another to rob nations. So the conclusion, as not only by the Keshe Foundation, internationally is accepted, United Nations is nothing but a forum for war, and it had to be ended. We've seen how they sanctioned war on Iraq, war on Lebanon, Libya, and the others for the benefit of some of their members, using language numbers in the council. If you look, United Kingdom carries majority votes, more or less 30 to 40% of the votes, pressurizing its Commonwealth members. So it was never fair. But this way, with setting up the Universal Council, we have done with this. People live across the world on this planet with different languages, connected to the mother language, but in thoughts and emotion connected not only by words. So, setting up the Universal Council on the basis of the language, we have done with borders. We have no borders. You're Chinese in America, you're as much Chinese, you're in China. Your line of thoughts is respected, and the same if you are from any part of Africa, in other part of the world, been taken by choice or by slavery. Now, we speak your language, your mother language, and the line of thoughts, which connects the whole soul of the man together. This is the reason we set up the one nation, one planet, one race, and the Universal Council. The Universal Council speaks the word of the planet, including everything else which lives across and within it. The way the Universal Council is set up is to, first, the initial steps of its work is to bring peace for humanity. And then, as its name goes, is its connection between the Universal Council and the planet. Which means, in communication, as we realize more, as we conquered a new continent, and we call it the United States or America, now we will conquer space. We need people who, with the release of new technology, can negotiate, can explain our wishes, our thoughts, our way of thinking to the new world which we found. This space is vast, and if you thought 10,000 different cultures on this planet was too much, you have millions of them. Every member of the council in time will come to understand the structure of part of this universal community. And then it sets the wishes of the mankind in respect to that community. It's not for one man, but every language through the soul of the man will be connected. What we've done now is the beginning. Some 20 odd members of the council, and with the next meeting in April, we build to another further steps, maybe 50 to 100 new languages. It's your job, if you listen and you think you're part of the structure of the peace on this planet, you step forward. You come forward to share your vision and your soul to bring peace about. We will explain this more and more. At this time, it's all a vision for you, but it's working for some. We saw the wishes of the council for years, past 2 years, 3 years, was to come to some sort of agreement between America and Russia on Syria, which has created so much displacement of people, which now has spread across Europe. You have to understand, it's not one nation anymore. And then we've seen how many Syrians and the others are in Europe seeking for the home the European caused them to lose for the financial gains they were hoping for. This is what is so finished. Wars. And we saw in that conference, the wishes of the war was come to an end. The war in Syria. And just, is it coincidental that on the second day of the conference, we see such a news? It's no coincidence. How many times you want to call it coincidence because you have no belief in your own power, your own strength of your own soul. This shows the council has the strength. We support the council in different ways that they can achieve the work. In our meeting on the second day, as the banner came up, the peace between Syria and Russia has been negotiated. A man who's been behind this peace negotiation in a very depth, trusting it can be achieved and it can go further, we had with us. We didn't listen to something which was imaginary. We listened to Gordon Duff, who was and has been involved in the peace talks, in trying to keep the trust between both sides in Syria. He has risked his life. He was in Syria. He took a delegation to Syria and stayed committed to peace. He gave us a talk. We understood more. Humanity needs a lot of sacrifices to achieve peace, as those who benefit by war would not let go so easy. We don't need to fight them. We need to make accommodation that us, through our soul, brings the physicality into order. There is a need for us, as whatever members you are, and you think you can serve humanity to bring peace, there's no good standing on the fringes anymore. You have to be inside it. You have to give from your soul, and if it needs physical time. We need to raise the members to 144 languages. We have achieved in the first conference 20 odd. We had a couple of more people who came in during the conference and they submitted their language. One was Turkish. And they want to submit their time for peace. Turkish Keshe Foundation members sent a delegation, and he was there and he wanted to be the member of Peace Council. You got to understand, becoming a member of the Peace Council or a member of the Universal Council or the supporters does not mean that you get the same rights to do what is done in the United Nations. The only job they have is to bring positive insight, wishes that can change humanity for better. Does not matter, it's a tribe, it's a wish for a nation, it's a wish for the animal or planet. We have seen their wish became their command, and we saw the peace treaty between Russia and United States on Syria. You will see more. On the other hand, you've seen the rocket launch. We do interfere. We warn in the Washington presentation that we will take steps. Any nation who goes on the path of destruction of another nation culture or trying to make a superior force, we will deal with. We do not leave it in the hand of the council till the council is mature enough that make sure these tools of war are not made, and they can make nations and head of nations to understand. The warhead which was set to be used electronically to destroy some of the nuclear warheads in Russia, to repeat in a way the forces we saw with Hiroshima. They would have triggered warheads across Russia, one or two, to force Russia to submission. What happened, we saw in Hiroshima. An atomic bomb forced. Atomic bomb forced and brought Japan into his knees, not to see more of his nationals to be killed. This rocket, which was supposed to planned, and he had the feasibility to deliver such a thing in communication line and delivery of the fields that it could have triggered nuclear willingly by those who had the bigger plan. But we had a bigger plan too. We will enforce the destruction of Washington, and we delivered it. We will deliver more, much more power to step by step. We bring all the nations to realize there is no need for tools of war. My warning goes to President Xi of China. We gave the same chance to China as we gave to the United States. You have abused our trust. We will respond. Very direct. Chinese community, and very clearly, you serve your nation as Keshe Foundation to change it for a peaceful ways. The trust in your leadership has far moved away, because when it came to time of action, not much was done but abused. We will not allow this abuse. We welcome the joint naval forces between Russia and China to show American forces need not to move in what we call South China Sea. But it has to be said, we will deliver technologies which will interfere. We're given the green light, we've been given the red light. As the rocket, no armies. You can kill each other with the little guns here and there and do your little games of wars and generals, but we will interfere. We have to interfere because the course of humanity has to be the peace way. As I said in the meeting of the council, if there was a cat on board of that rocket, we would have removed it and we would have shown it. No one will be harmed. This is our plan. We carry on the plan. We have to be correct. We have to be in a way to start making path for peace. Those who are financially better off, and it came from the back of what they call garages of building technologies, that now they think the man of power just because they earn some money during their lifetime. And now they're using it to finance wars and thinking they can control different kind of birth of different nations and who is going to be who, and producing things which can endanger their life. We will handle one by one. And don't say, oh, it's accidental. We warned about the rocket in Washington. There was no accident. There shall be no more accidents. So what we are asking for is to add to the strength of the council. If you speak a language, when you bring language, it strengthens the work of the peace, because we can approach and reach more people through their understanding of the emotion that peace is essential cornerstones of our work. We have announced this, what we call the third meeting of the council will be in April. The date has been set. And we'll stay in Rome. Rome is safe for us. We have high full security apparatus for all members. And we stay intact in bringing the ancient Rome to the new generation of the science. On the back of this work, as we go hand in hand with what we call the strength of the soul and the science, as we promised, that will be the work of the world future messengers of what we call the creator. Everyone has to go together, science and belief. If you have the science, you shall not believe in false. You can see the truth. And this is what is needed in the depth of the universe when you travel. For this reason, we announced the start of the Ghana Scientific Conference. That is the first scientific conference. This conference in Ghana is to show and submit papers. is to deliver scientific discoveries using the plasma technology, be it GaN, be it space, be it energy, be it any other thing which is bringing a new application of the science in respect to our environment, life, and everything else. The second, what we call Universal Science Conference, will be held every quarter. What this means, from now on, every quarter, one conference, scientific conference, will be held across the world. We try to keep to one position that everybody knows, but in fact, we need to do this. A lot of you, hundreds, thousands of you, have done a lot of work. You have developed new ways of food production. You have developed new ways of energy. You have developed a tiny little thing can make a big difference. You have to have a say. You are a professor. You are a scientist. You don't need a degree to say who you are, that you can control your mind. You are the people who we are inviting you. Submit your work, write a paper. You can't write a paper. Bring it and show it. We allocate 1 hour per person to show or to discuss or to bring a school of thought of what they think the technology needs to be done. You got to understand, when you set up a new structure, you have to work on every aspect of it. When you set up Universal Council, when you set up one nation, you have to look after your nation's need in every way. You have to nourish them emotionally, you have to feed them through the knowledge of the science, and you have to allow them to feel comfortable to be within the environment. That is our job. You're a housewife, you have found a new way of producing GaNs which you think it can be used. You're a scientist. You have graduated in the University of Plasma. There shall be no color, no age, no race. The certificate, PhDs and engineers has been created in past 100 years for those who would like to be separate. In Universal Council, we are all the same. In the Universal Community, we are all the same. We did not born with a degree when we came out of the womb of our mother, and we shall not die with one. Millions of us over past thousands of years have added little by little to knowledge of the man, and none of us got a degree for it. Why should we now? But before, a mother passed the knowledge to daughter, and then maybe to 2, 3 or a few grandchildren. Now you teach your knowledge across the planet. This is the difference. You have a voice. You understand it. So in Ghana, we announced the first scientific conference. The second Universal Scientific Conference will be held in Rome. You can register for it today. We announced the date in December. At this moment of time, we look on the 12th, 13th and the 14th of December, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We will confirm this maybe a day here and there within next 24 hours. But if you want to show, if you want to see the knowledge on the edge of science of plasma technology, this is where to be. Limited space, conference presentation, around about 500. If you want to show, if you are part of the Keshe Foundation teaching groups, if you are part of the Keshe Foundation manufacturers by then, you can book yourself on a stall and a stand to show what you've done, to show your products, to set up a structure with thoughts. Now we allow our scientists to submit their papers. For us to get someone, a conference, to allow a plasma paper to be shown by a female which has done the test, produces the food in the kitchen from plasma, is impossibility. Not in our cycle. Because what you teach can save a life, somewhere in a disaster or somewhere in a space. Your knowledge is respected. make it, submit your application, what you want to show, what you have. We check very simply, very plainly, that what you're submitting, you are given a space to talk. You are given a space to present. Book your place in the conference, attend the conference, submit it. We will try to pick up parts of this to be kept for recording on teaching, which means in the future it can be used. You're teaching as a lecturer, you're teaching as a scientist of the plasma. You are respected. We are planning the 3rd Universal Council Scientific Conference somewhere in March. March the 1st to the 4th. We have to do this, because if we don't do, the science and the others who think they have the control of the science with their false magazines and peer reviews will overtake to silence. This way we teach. We teach each other. You have made something, you want to show, you want to learn that you can do something with new technologies, you're all welcome to these conferences. We still do vetting. Those who are not vetted will not be allowed in. For those of you who were in Rome, we noticed there was few, very, very few, who came to create problem. But seeing armed officers right across the conference will give you a lesson. Do not mess about with Keshe Foundation supporters and the Universal Council. Governments understand our position and are supporting us heavily. We've seen few people would like to disturb and come up with what they thought it'll be a good thing to come. They would have found out very quickly there is no place for misguided people. We are here to share. Go on the website. It's already opened up this morning, I hope. In any shape or form, you bring your condition, you bring your question to the council. We allow fringe meetings that different people of different interests have, and we build on this. We are looking around 400 places as accommodation and 500 places in the hall. Our target for the conference was 120, and we were correct. We could not allow any more because it's a Universal Council conference last week. Next time is scientific. Book your place, come in, bring your thoughts. I'm not there to answer questions. We are there all together to find and gain knowledge from each other. This is the way the foundation goes. This is the way we are going. We established a teaching group. We established what we call Keshe Foundation, then a Spaceship Institute for teaching, then KFSSI to in-depth and bring more knowledge directly to people. Now we start teaching doctors, which I hear over 50 doctors now registered in the medical teaching. I have a very good news for those who've been hanging around. We ask for doctors. As of this week, if you are an alternative medicine doctor with certificate and there are conditions to meet, you're allowed to come in. You're allowed to participate, the use of the technology, and let us know how it goes. We have a group of 700 doctors in China who want to join us, but they don't speak English. We'll make facilities for you. We are in touch with the group, and we will make accommodation for the Chinese doctors on this specific case to come in. They're all alternative medical teachers or practitioners. It has to be proven with a long track record that you are registered by your government, that you practice, and everything else which is needed in the background. You'll be allowed to join in the medical teaching. This is all totally free. You don't need to pay. The same is for the agriculture. The agriculture needs to be strengthened. The agriculture side needs to be on. I hear somebody ask, what about the physical therapist? Ask Dr. Klaus, he will respond. You have to see You have to understand, if you have physical therapy, you can use GANs to relieve the pain of your people in a much faster way. This is what we stand for. No boundaries. We had to learn ourselves. As we are learning, we're opening more doors. The Keshe Foundation manufacturing Austria will support all the medical equipment. Now they are in the position to deliver anything you see in the teachings to do with health. Austria has moved in and they will deliver. Hopefully next week or two they deliver the first systems to the doctors who want to use it. You don't need how to make it, but they do. The establishment and the specialty of Austria at the moment goes towards the production of medical system. It's a team of them, and you have a full support, and we have the other doctors. The GANS trials have already started. By now, most of you should have received your materials, and please report back you received it, and that we can start tracking. The person in the background to put the knowledge back in what you see and how you see it has been there, and she will support you in any shape or form. The first batch of the medicine for cancer, or what we call the plasma immune system, has been dispatched. We wait for the doctors who start using it to be able to deliver it. And in that process, we will see that the first trials on doctors applying the new, what we call liquid plasma for reversal of cancer, hopefully it starts this week. The material should be delivered. It's on its way to the doctor. And then the first 2 trials starts, and next week hopefully we start the second trial with 2 new people. This is how we will go. And the knowledge, the outcome is an open channel, which means other doctors can monitor, other doctors can put their thoughts and the ideas in how it should be. Maybe we have to change. The problem is very simple. We have no solution for major diseases, multiple cancers, cancers which they become multiple. Chemotherapy has not proven to be 100% successful. We have not managed to bring technology without side effect. This technology can offer that. Humanity deserves to know. Humanity deserves to be able to test. It's not a foreign agent, it's not to develop new materials of pharmaceuticals with side effect. It's natural products. No one on this planet can tell you you cannot eat meat, or you cannot have ginger or garlic. This is the same. It's as more natural than the matter state. It's a component of what you breathe. So if anyone says to you, you cannot use this material, you say, excuse me, this is what it sits in the air you breathe. Stop breathing. You choose. The way I have thought, and I'll keep on teaching this technology, is using the natural processes that there is no way any legislation anywhere in the world can block it. If anybody tells you you cannot use the CO2, water, you cannot use the air of the CO2, say, excuse me, you breathe it every day, stop breathing, that's the end of life for you. They come to understand how ridiculous the structure has been set. So, the way we work from now on, we have set up the Universal Council. We have set up the education by KFSSI. Now, we let you to submit the papers and scientific and explanation in conferences that we structure ourselves and other organizations can see how the science is developing. We have, and we are in a place the same of setting Universal Police Force. It took us a bit, but we'll be there very soon. And now we are working in the background for what we announced for Universal Bank. That means we do not accept the condition of one nation's worth is more than the other. We all work the same. Does not matter who has more or less to offer. A man works on the street from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, has put enough love and care from other members of the community that the doctor in the operating room at the same time. There should not be a difference in valuing a man. And so he should not be with his nation in who is better or richer than the other. We have become one nation. Why should we have different bank accounts and currencies? A man works in the jungles of Africa, a man who works in the hospital in New York, and a farmer who is, or a miner in the mines of China, spends the same 8 hours giving from their life. So it is the same. There is no GDP. Now we have world GDP. It's total of us who has to change the course. We are all valued one. And this is how we are setting up the universal banking system. Do we need to give money, or do we facilitate that I give my 8 hours to clean the street, but I do it 2 weeks a year and I want the rest to learn and serve and be happy? That is welcome. The only unemployment we have is the shame of us, we cannot serve. And that's how the change will come. To a lot of you, this sounds very, very far-reaching, but you will understand very soon it's in your pocket. Why should you work 50 weeks a year, 8 hours a day, separated from your children, separated from what you love, for the others to have a better time, for you to suffer? Where you can work 2 weeks a year, solid enough, and have 50 years to have with your loved ones, and with it, bring up a peaceful nation. What do you expect from people who never see their children? Disappear early light of the day, come home late. Where is the child to learn? Humanity, peace. This is our job, to create that condition. This is why we are interfering in every shape or form with the past structure. As I said last Thursday in the talk, 999 is the final, is the last number before you go to 1. And we are started the 1 on Saturday. It's a new condition. It's us who's got to force it. It's us who have to do it. As I said to you before, the scientists in one of the leading institutes in America, they say we can accept Keshe's technology, but he's involved in prophecy, he's involved in religion, he's involved in ethics, and this does not go with the science. With you lot, with the way you were thought, because you thought you are the God of science, does not fit. The same as it doesn't fit into the Catholic, the priest and the others, that the scientists have nothing to do, is all act of God. Now the two come together, religion and science. That is what Keshe Foundation is. Unity of science, unity of the man. That brings peace, and that's what we are targeting at. We will achieve it because we are correct. We will achieve it because it comes from our soul, not physicality of paying somebody to say yes. We act, and in acting, we deliver. There are thousands and thousands of you are involved in making answers. You're selling your services, you're selling your products, you're going somewhere and doing things. This is how it should be. Knowledge is dispersed, knowledge has to be used for peaceful application. Do the government want us?